$1.
I'm Cooper Bentley.
Hey, I'm Bentley Havens.
You're watching Out the Top.
And you're watching Out the Top.
You're watching Out the Top.
Look at that rock light coming out the top.
Hey guys, episode 70, Out the Top, February 18th, 2025. Brian Dunnigan back in the Rock Life Studios, Monticello, Kentucky. Our co-host, the driver of the famous 2016 Polaris Turbo RZR and the 2024 L&W chassis Polaris Turbo L&W. Yeah, I done said L&W. I'm saying it twice. That buggy, the blue and red buggy and white buggy, Dan Carter.
Hey.
What's
Yes,
up, buddy?
that is the L&W buggy.
I butchered that description pretty bad.
Oh, you just wait. There's going to be some butchering going on
Yeah.
at some point in time in here.
Yeah, it's
Leave it to me. I'll butcher something up quick.
gonna be a good one. We did have some comments about our show last week. I had a listener reach out to me and wanted to know what we were doing, getting so excited talking about going up back door.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just kind of is what it is, guys.
Yeah.
Sorry. Guys, we're up to, I think, right at 11,000 now subscribers
Sweet.
on the old YouTube. We just keep going, and I've been lazy. I've not been posting as much as I should. So it's cool that those numbers are still going up, and I'm being a lazy fuck. But if you haven't, go back, hit that subscribe button. Don't forget, we got memberships. If you want to join in on our iRacing League that we're going to be starting here in the next few weeks, go over, get that membership, and we'll get something going here shortly for that. Also, if you get that membership, you are eligible for up to 50% off all Rock Life, Dan Carter, and Rock Life Racing merch at rockliferacing.com. We got some cool new shirts, hoodies, all kinds of hats, apparels, decals, keychains, you name it, it's all on there. And all of that money goes directly to our racing operations. So please go get you some of that. We
Help
would
us
much
go
appreciate
fast.
it. Yeah, we need all that go fast. All right, so let's get right into the Outlaw season opener at Hawk Pride this weekend. Last week we talked about, the car counts weren't looking great, weather wasn't looking great. I'm pretty excited that as the week got closer and the race got closer, it seemed to have ticked up significantly in both of their classes. I think they had a full field in both classes, which is good. We were kind of nervous about that. Still missing some of the bigger names in the bouncer class.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, they filled it out. You had Wade and Wes Keene and Jason Keene and Connor Flynn, which Connor was kind of driving a rental, so I don't know if you can count him or not. But there was a full field in each class, so that was good. Did you get to see any of the highlight videos?
Yeah, I got to watch a little bit of Johnny and Ethan Martin, and saw a little bit of Chad Gill's run. So I mean, it's like there was a pretty good presence there, especially for the media and the stuff. They said Cole Shirley was there with Mad Ram. Charles was there.
He don't get out as much as everybody else. He's got a job.
Yeah. Cole puts in quite a few hours, from what I understand. But I think Hawk Pride's probably one of his closest parks that we race at now.
He's from down your neck of the woods, isn't he?
Yeah. So I'm pretty sure he tries to come to as much as he can, and while juggling a full-time job and a full family.
Yeah, his kid's been getting it. His kid's getting into dirt bike racing, right?
Oh man, yeah, those kids, like they're those type of kids that, like, I feel like Cole lets them do whatever they choose to do, but they seem like whatever they do, they want to be the best at it, and it's not like he's peer pressuring them to do anything, but it just shows, like, some of his videos, like they started out with like Strider bikes and stuff, and eventually moved up to like e-bikes and dirt bikes and stuff. So it's cool to kind of watch them grow up and take on the mentality of like kids being kids.
So this has, I'm glad you brought that up. This is kind of off our show sheet here, but if any of you all watching or listening have children, small children, the Strider bikes are real and they are legit, and go get your kid one.
For sure. Yeah.
Or message us. We sell them at Rock Life. Dude, those are awesome. My kid, we gave him one on his, what would be his second birthday, I think.
Yeah.
And he's been through 2 of them now, and he was riding an e-bike before he could ever ride a pedal bike.
Right.
Like his little e-bike, he has a 16-inch e-bike, and he's running it wide open before he ever could ride a pedal bike. But when we went to pedal bike, I spent maybe 5 minutes with it. And after 5 minutes, I mean, he was riding it like he had been riding it for years.
He's like, Dad, get off me. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we started him with the training wheels on the pedal bike because he was having a hard time getting started.
Right.
And he was getting so mad because he couldn't get going because of the training wheels.
Yeah.
So he's like, these things suck. Get them off. And so we took the training wheels off, and I just kind of pushed him down over a hill, and away he went. And he's been riding it ever since. So the Strider bikes are real, guys. If you got kids, they're pretty cool. But anyways, so where Outlaw runs at Hawk Pride, I don't know as I've ever been to that part of the race areas.
Right.
I know it doesn't have the style of hills, I guess you could say, that we run typically. But judging by some of the stuff I've seen, I mean, the rock ledges are no different. They're huge.
Right.
Just the rocks themselves are huge. Have you been over there to where they run, and how would you, if so, how would you compare that to kind of what we do, or can you?
I've been over there in that area, but I've not been to that actual hill. So from what I understand is, like, if you go through the park, all the way to the backside of the parking lot is just off that hill. And like, I've been over there in that vicinity, but I've never actually been to that hill and paid much attention to it. And when I heard they were racing over there, my first thought was like, man, there's nothing over there, you know? And I don't know if it was one of those things that they just wanted to find something else to kind of like find their part of the park, you know, that they kind of stake claim in their own, because for, I don't know, man, it may be like 5 years, it kind of seemed like we were all racing just right there, like the No Respect Hill, and then also over there, like I guess where they call like the diving board over there close to that area too. So it was like either one of the two race hills is where we would race. And they picked out a spot over there that they kind of took stake in their own, and it seems like it's become quite the challenge for some of the drivers.
Dude, it's it looked pretty gnarly. We've got a little video we'll run of some of the bouncer fails, I guess you could say, just a few little few little clips. We'll play that in a few minutes. But yeah, it looked rough. And so
like just that ledge, man, looks like it's 3 or 4 foot tall. So I mean, it looks pretty gnarly.
So we've got a little video here I'm going to play. And this is not that one, different one. Chad Gill, which I don't know Chad personally. I've seen him run several times. I think he has one of the, I may be wrong. Is it one of the Liberties?
I think it's Liberty too.
No. Which one's Clint got? Clint's got Liberty too, doesn't he?
I don't know.
I think it's an old Danny Smith buggy. But I could be wrong. So Chad is just getting it up this hill, trying to full send it. And it's so rough going up the hill at speed. Dude knocks himself out mid-run. Didn't wreck, mind you, didn't wreck. Was on all fours, knocked himself out mid-run. And that just goes to show you how violent these runs are.
Right.
You know, we get some people that are like, oh, you guys aren't racing, you're, you know, qualifying more or less. Well, that's true. But after you watch this video and just kind of watch his head move around in there, how could you handle more than 2 or 3 minutes of this at a time physically?
Right.
Like you just, that's what makes this stuff so exciting, is you have to go wide open.
Right.
But let me pull this up and you guys let me know what you think, and we'll talk just a little bit more about it. And guys, if you're listening on the audio podcast, we'll kind of talk through this, but if you want to see the video, go on YouTube and check that out. So here's Chad knocking his old noggin. Now right here, he just guns it. So violent.
Yeah, man, that was a tough hit.
But he is out. You know, they're trying to tell him to shut that thing off and put it in park. And you can see him reach for the shifter at one point, but his hand just goes nothing.
Yeah.
Like, that's just, it's just unbelievable almost, the sheer violence in that.
Right. And like for the people that are listening to the audio version of this, like basically, you know, Chad was probably running 30, 40 miles an hour up to this ledge. And, you know, I saw his line and it looked like he took right where he wanted to go, but it was just such a violent hit that definitely you could tell it disoriented him. And,
well,
man, that's tough to watch.
They said you know who they are. They said, they think his head hit one of the bars inside. And that ties back into, you know, just general, I think some people, and I'm not saying this is Chad by no means, but some people, for whatever reason, don't take the safety aspect of the sport very serious. And that goes to show you that you should.
Right.
Like, he didn't turn over, he didn't flip, he didn't do nothing. Just running up a hill. And so general rule is your helmet to full extension everywhere around you as far as your head can reach while buckled in. Your helmet and at least a fist all the way around your helmet before it hits anything.
Right.
He may have that in that buggy. I don't think so, because the video, it looked like he was real close to the roof bar. But like my old red buggy, when we built it, that's how we built it.
Right.
We built it for, you know, I got fitted to the daggone thing. We measured. I had my helmet, a fist, and 2 inches above that.
Right.
Where we screwed up is when we measured, we didn't have the seat padding in. So my original red buggy, I run that whole year with 0 padding in that ISP seat, which is a no-no.
Yeah.
Like, you really need something.
Right.
But when we ended up replacing the roof on that, we had it picked up a little bit, and people are going to see Braden's new buggy when it comes out. It's tall, but Braden is tall, and he has a long torso. And by the time we could have made that buggy shorter, could have gotten it down some more. We could have laid his seat back maybe a little bit more. But by the time you get him in there and you give him his helmet and a fist, that's just how tall it had to be.
Right.
That's the last thing more scary than turning over or flipping off whatever hill is some dude coming down a hill that's unconscious.
Right.
You're still under power. That's the last thing you want, is somebody coming down towards a crowd of people who's not awake in there.
Right.
So, guys, I know some of y'all think your buggies look cool, but make sure you got headroom. They're race cars after all. Make sure you got headroom, and make sure you got plenty of space to move side to side in that thing, because however much you can move by yourself in there, by the time it gets to beating around, you'll move a whole lot more too.
Oh man, it's like ridiculous, because like you could cinch down as hard as you can get it. And like I'm guilty of this. Like you're uncomfortable anyway, and you're like, I
Yes.
need to be a little bit tighter. So you cinch down as hard as you can, and you're almost uncomfortable driving, but you're like, well, at least I'm tight. I feel good and tight in here. And the minute you roll, it's like you can feel yourself like getting closer to the roof line. Like you can feel yourself moving in that seat. And man, that's a scary feeling, knowing that you've cinched down as tight as you can get, but yet you're still moving in the seat.
Yeah, and you see that more in like the suspension seats,
Right.
than you do in like the aluminum race seats. And I don't know, there's no right or no wrong to the race seat. The downside to the suspension seat is, as you go up and down, bounce in the seat, your belts just get looser.
Right.
And then your aluminum seat, doing what we do, is hard on your back if you case out, or if you come down land hard. There's really no give. So it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of situation.
Right.
Just do whatever feels right to you, but just make sure whatever feels right, make sure it is right, or
Right.
as right as it can be. Because we've had some injuries in the last couple of years. We've had 2 or 3 backs broken, and we seen down there at Bikini Bottoms, we had to get the top cut off of Tyler Heinzel's
Right.
UTV down there one year. And it's usually seat and harness related.
Right. Yeah. And it's, the main thing is, like, we always talk about safety gear and trying to, make sure all the seat belts are in date, and, our helmets are in good shape, and like a good DOT helmet. But it's like something else that worries me too is, like, on the trail riding aspect of things. Like when we get through racing, you have a bunch of trail riders wanting to hit the race hills. And, my thoughts on that is, everybody likes to have a good time, but always keep a helmet with you. Like these Axle helmets that they're coming out with, like a lot of the trail riders use those. And like when we trail ride, we have a set that we take with us if we know we're going to be acting up or, you know, being a little goofy. You know, we always try to keep in mind the safety aspect of things, no matter how ridiculous you think you look wearing a helmet. It's a whole lot better to look ridiculous than
well, even the
have to have staples across your forehead.
Oh yeah, even the axle helmets that dude, I'm drawing a blank. I can't remember the line of them, but they're more of a hard hat, bicycle, skateboard style helmet.
Right.
You know, that's what I've got in the trailer.
Yeah.
And even one of them, even though they're not rated, even one of them, you know, trail riding will keep your head from beating against a roll bar. You may still see some stars after it's over with, but at least you're not going to be, like you said, getting staples in your daggone forehead.
Right.
And then they've got some new DOT helmets coming out, or maybe out. They're a little more expensive, but still a smaller, lightweight helmet that you can just toss in your machine.
Right.
And especially, this is okay. So, like, I feel like I have done a lot of trail riding in my life. I know I've not done near as much as some other people. I'm very comfortable here at home, but when I get out to other places, especially at night, it's kind of hard to judge sometimes the difficulty, I guess, of the trail or where you're going. Like at home, I see this big rock wall or whatever. It's like, oh yeah, I've been up and down it, you know, for the last 20 years. No big deal. Shoot right up it. But if I was to see that same rock wall at Hawk Pride, I would probably be like, man, there's no way.
Right.
You know, and it could be the same, but I would drive it completely different for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And it's times like that when, you know, you use your head. If you got a helmet, put it on. Nobody's going to make fun of you. We promise. But, speaking of all that, so we've got, thanks to our buddy Charles Chris with High Octane Films, we've got another little, I stole some of his footage. We've got a few of the bouncer crashes, just to kind of show when you watch this. You know, we were talking about the ledges. When you watch this, if you'll pay close attention, there's a couple shots in this where like back tires drop below that ledge.
Right.
And it doesn't, in this video, it doesn't look that bad until you remember that those are 43-inch tires.
Right. So I'm like almost like a 4 foot tall tire.
Yeah. Yeah. So they're 43-inch tires and the ledge is swallowing them. So you have to put that in perspective when you look at this and you're like, oh, that's not that hard. Yeah. So yeah, we've got a little crash reel we'll play here. I think it's got our buddy Johnny Gibbs, Taz Buggy, and a few more here. So I'm glad Johnny finally got his wrapped.
Oh yeah, that looks pretty good.
But yeah, see, look there. That's a 43, guys. Even Sticky Mickey's just wasn't sticky enough. And I don't know who this cat is, but he tried. He gave it the old college try. Now there's another video of this buggy, and I'm not sure if it's on this or not, where he climbs the left ledge basically on a wheelie.
Oh man.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive. Here's old Taz buggy. That's one of my favorite sounding rigs.
Oh, that was almost a good save.
That was almost a good save.
Man, yeah, that buggy, like there's nothing that can compare to the sound of that buggy.
No, it's so awesome. so awesome. And I went through the video, and there's several more, but that was just kind of to show you, like, it's rough out there.
Man, yeah.
Park Pride is rough.
Oh, yeah. Like it's getting worse every time we go as far as like the race hills, like just the washouts stuff. But that's crazy to see how that ledge, it didn't look that bad last year when they ran that. And it seems like it's twice as bad now. And this, like you said, those 43-inch stickies just being like swallowed up by that ledge. That's crazy.
So from my understanding in the UTV class, the way Outlaw runs is they have the 2 lanes, right? They have I guess a yellow lane, orange lane. The morning lane ran, the morning lane that ran the yellow line, right? They got done, and then the guys that run the orange lane came over, they all swapped. Once they made that swap, nobody made it up the second one.
Oh, man.
The left lane. Yeah. So I don't know if the bouncers just dug it out or what, but there was some UTVs that made it. But as far as I know, nobody in the second half of the day climbed it at all.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So, I mean, but like I said, on video, guys, always on video, none of these hills that we run look like anything hardly.
Right.
But I think that was the perfect video to put into perspective, like how big these ledges are. You know, like I said, that's a 40, that's a 43-inch tire got swallowed. So that's a 50, 55-inch ledge.
Yeah.
Sheer face. Alabama clay. Like, that stuff's slick. I don't know. I didn't want to do it. I wouldn't want to do it. I'm glad I wasn't there. We were going.
Yeah.
Okay. I was going, trying to sell a truck up here at home. Guy calls me. He's like, hey, I'm going to come Saturday and buy your truck. I'm like, well, I was going to Alabama, but if you're coming to buy my truck, I'll stay. I'll stay for that. Well, he calls me Friday. He's like, hey, I'd like to just come get it Friday evening. And I was like, okay, that's even better. Well, he come and bought it Friday. And then I was like, I'd kind of made my mind up at that point that I wasn't going.
Right.
And so I couldn't talk myself back into going after the fact. So I laid out like a chump, I guess. But I was going.
Well, and like the forecast, the weather forecast was absolutely terrible for Saturday.
It was not great. But I think by talking to some of the people that was down there, they got a little rain that morning, and then just a little breezy the rest of the day. Not near as bad as what. Listen, it rained up here.
Yeah,
it rained. A lot of Kentucky has been flooded. We've got some flooding in our area, but nothing, no major damage as far as I know. Just our typical flood areas. But people have learned now they don't live there. So, right. But yeah, sat here and watched it rain when I thought I was going to watch it rain down there, and ended up sitting at home doing a bunch of nothing. But that's neither here nor there. So we will. What's I guess we're 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
From the National Rock Racing Association.
Yeah, the season and opener, season opener at Winrock. Looking forward to that. I'm not ready.
You're not ready?
I'm not ready.
Why are you not ready?
I've got to do some bolt checking, make sure everything's good. I've done this, but I want to be for certain. The first race of the year, I feel like everything's got to be on point.
Have you even started the full block?
Yes.
You lying dog. You ain't even started it.
We started to go fire it up the other day.
You started to go fire it up. Well, listen, we've been running the blue rig, or whatever in the hell color I tried to call it earlier. I've been starting it, letting it run about every week. It does not like cold weather. So
Yeah, the since we changed that over to E85, like I've heard of people putting like hair dryers in the exhaust and turning them on. I've heard people setting like propane heater in front of them. Like, I don't know at what temperature those things are just like, nah, I'll be difficult today.
when I started it the last time, it started and ran on one cylinder for, I'm going to say 10 seconds. Might have been longer,
Yeah.
but it just sat and run on one cylinder, and then all of a sudden the other one kicked in, and it run fine. And I got out and drove around the parking lot and let it warm up before we, turned it back off. But yeah, they don't like cold weather. But we've been starting it, and then got our new performance. What is it? The performance drive line? Is that what it is? Yeah. PDI. Got our new drive shaft in it the other day, thanks to Thomas Lord. Got to do a little diff work next week or this week, and then we're simple boat check and put on a trailer and bring 2 Windrock. So we're ready. As ready as we can be. I do know. Listen, I guess what would be considered, I guess if you went to Vegas and tried to play the odds for the UTV Unlimited class, since Timmy's probably not racing, your odds favorite would probably be Clay Kaysen. 2 years ago, he podiumed every event. I think he won the championship the year Timmy was gone.
Yeah.
Finished, I think, second last year. Consistently pretty fast. We're 2 weeks away from a race. He don't have a motor.
Oh.
Hasn't had a motor all winter. So that'll be interesting to see if they can get their stuff together for the season opener, or if he's going to be running. He raced this past weekend at Outlaw. Got second place.
Yeah, I thought they were in full bodies.
In the full body.
That's pretty good.
He got second in the full body, and then brother Cody lifted ahead on his. So technically they're down 2 motors.
And like we've talked about that, and like everybody's different, but I've always thought there's like a thin line between having enough horsepower and then having too much.
Well,
and man, I just think we're like on the cusp of like having too much, and it's like, I don't know if, like, my opinion is you need to be able to finish the race. You need it to be reliable. But what's the old saying is, it's kind of like the difference between horsepower and torque. Like, horsepower is like how fast you hit the wall, and torque is how far you carry the wall with you.
Yeah.
So it's like, do you want to win races or do you not? I guess is what some of these people look at. But man, I hate knowing that some of our competition is down an engine, because it's like though Bacon's always say, like, you want to beat people at your best or at their best. And like, I hate knowing going into season opener that they're having issues, So hopefully they can get that ironed out.
They're pretty resourceful.
Yeah.
I would say that they're up and going in plenty of time. It's wasn't them don't care what anyone says, them big horsepower Razor motors don't last.
That's facts.
Just don't last.
Somebody will argue with us about that, but that is facts. Like,
just don't last. I can't count how many of them got holes in them in the last 2 years.
yeah,
And I get it. It's a race car, and you want to. I understand the thought process of having all the power. I do. Because you only need it for 3 minutes at a time.
right.
Doing what we're doing. So if it gets you through the race weekend, and that's the thought process behind a lot of race car engineers, crew chiefs, whatever you want to call it, their goal typically is not to get through the season, it's to get through the day.
Right.
I just can't make it. They're too expensive, boys. Too high.
Yeah, my pocketbook's not
too high.
My pocketbook matches my mentality of get through the next 5 years.
Yes,
like our race program's on a 5-year plan, not a one
with
race
the
plan.
same part.
It's like we're gonna go with the best of the best because we need it to last.
Yes. No, them high horsepower engines are just hard to hold together. I don't care can't nobody tell me nothing different.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Anyway. So I've not heard any other gossip, heard any other news heading into the season opener, but we'll keep an ear out, and if there's anything worth talking about, we'll be back and talk about it. But can't wait to get down to Windrock and get the season kicked off. Hang out with our guys from Super Grip and see everybody down at the races. So that's coming up in a couple weeks. What is that? March
3rd and 4th, maybe?
No.
Yeah, I saw it on flyer.
7th, 8th.
Okay, speaking of that, I'll flyer. There's been 2 flyers released.
Oh, has there?
Is there not 2 flyers?
There's like for that event, or
yes. I'm wanting to say that one flyer has a driver's face on it and another flyer does not.
They've got the flyers done for the first 6 races. And they've all got driver's faces on.
Man, hold on. I thought the one that I saw today did not.
No, they've got one out for Rush already. And the Rush has the Stig on there. The guy in just the white suit and the helmet. But they've all got a driver on them. Well, but I do have a bone to pick, though. And I'm going to say it right here. The blue buggy is on the cover of the flyer for the Hot Springs race. They took all the logos off of it. Like it's the buggy, and somebody went through the pains to remove Rock Life and L&W on it.
Okay, well,
come on, guys.
Well, this Windrock flyer that I'm looking at now, I'm guessing it looks like Clint's buggy is like the headliner on there. And it says 2025 Windrock Park, March 7th, 8th. And it's got Clint's buggy.
Clint's on the second one, Wildcat race. That's Schuessler.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sorry, it's been a minute, Shoestog.
That's Schuessler.
Okay. Well, then on the other one I saw, it's got something similar, and then It's got Nathaniel Bale up in the corner of it. Like,
Yeah. He looks like he's confused.
yeah. And then this one has also got a VIN class deal, and it's got Charles Carris.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at.
And then there's a military Hummer behind him.
Is there?
Yes. Yes, I'm fixing to send this to you right now.
There's no Hummer. We gotta look, boys. We gotta look.
We'll
Oh,
put
that
this
is
in
different.
show notes because
That is different.
this is weird. Like,
That is different.
so there's different flyers floating around, and like that was my thing last year. Like I would always like I was trying to make everything my own a little bit by ripping stuff off, and each thing had a little storyline behind it, and there was inside jokes. We would put like we would take the flyer and then we would just input silly. We were being silly gooses, so we would put different pictures on these things and make our own flyers. And then when I saw that one and Nathaniel Bell in there, I was like, okay, so my first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to leave that alone, and I'm going to put a bunch of those sim racers in there.
That'd be hilarious.
And I was like, that would just, because it's like now we've got pictures of actual drivers instead of fake drivers for the, like, I guess,
Oh, yeah.
AI generated flyers that we have now.
The Stig, man. It's the
Stig.
Stig.
Okay.
It's the Stig.
Well, I'm not good with this lingo. I've got
You don't know who the Stig is?
No.
Dude.
I feel like I'm out of the loop.
You don't know who the Stig is?
No,
Well, this is your homework for this week.
Okay.
I'm not telling you.
Okay.
You've got a book report due next Tuesday
Okay. So
on the Stig.
So I will look that up, but like I feel like the Stig's going to be NASCAR related.
No.
It's not. Well,
No.
okay. Well, I've got to at least tell you this. Did you see Cletus McFarlane?
Dude.
That was the greatest
Yeah. He was
reference
on,
to an experience.
He's on the Dale Jr. download this week. I'm
That's
interested to hear how that went.
He was like, I was able to pull that off because I had my sleeves cut off.
Listen.
It's like able to maneuver the car that way because my sleeves were cut off. And he's like, after I come out of that, I was just feeling like the greatest driver ever.
He done some good press.
Yeah, that was great.
He done some good press.
All right, so I gotta find out.
I hope he dabbles a little bit more in the racing.
Yeah, man, NASCAR needs
somebody. See, the thing is, NASCAR needs somebody like him, but he could leave Cletus at home and he could just be Garrett.
Yeah,
and would be just fine.
That's right.
Like, he has enough personality just as himself that he don't have to do the Cletus character, I don't think.
Right.
And would still do really good. But yeah, that was dude, he wadded that car up.
Oh.
In the race. It's pretty good.
He was like, yeah, I was doing so good they didn't want me there anymore. They wrecked me because I was doing so good.
Yeah, that's what it was, Cleater. Oh, he's something else. All right. I guess really for this week, that's about it. Dan's got homework. I can't believe you don't know what Stig is.
Hey,
I'm going to
add this to my notes.
This is really blowing my mind.
As soon as we go through the podiums for the Outlaw race, I'm going to get started on my homework.
Yes, we need a full report on the Stig. All right, let's get into the rundown.
You got me
Outlaws.
nervous now.
It's not bad. It's not bad. I just thought everybody knew who the Stig was.
Like
I used to have a sticker on my vehicle that said, "I am the Stig."
Okay, so it's not going to be like the backdoor shootout
No.
conversation from last week. So okay.
No, I won't
All right.
do that to you.
This
This is an automotive related person.
Okay. Well, like I didn't want nothing for my virgin ears and eyes to have to see that's going to traumatize me for the rest of this season.
No. You. It's safe. PG. It's PG. All right. So podiums for the. I'm still tickled over this. Podiums for the Outlaw Off-Road Racing season opener at Hawk Pride Off-Road. Dan, get us started with
why not? I would love to. Let me
UTV class.
Let me go ahead and apologize to anybody. I love all of you guys. But please do not come at me if I mispronounce anyone's name.
You're not you're good.
Okay. Youth UTV. First place we have, I feel like I should have done the like Dave Chappelle skit with this, like, hey, Ron.
Oh, that would be hilarious.
I should have done this earlier. Should have done my homework on this earlier. All right, UTV. First place we had Hunter Vargo. Second place was Ramsey Trainer. And third place, Desiree Damaris.
Pro-Am class. First place was Adam Winkle. Second place, Robert McAdams. And third place, Ross Curry.
For UTV, we had first place, Nate Han-Bell. Second place, Clay Kaysen. Third place, Nathan King.
And your Bouncer Unlimited class, first place, 17-year-old, first time, I think, even on the podium, gets the win. Brady Burmeister. Second place, Wes Keene and Wade Good right there in third place for the weekend. Wade is back for a full season this year in the National Rock Racing Association, trying to kick old Timmy while he's down. He's going to come in and get that trophy and run off before the competition shows up. Somebody's got to win it. Might as well be him. All right, we're done. Probably won't be around next. Well, I don't want to say that. Probably won't be around next week. Probably the week before Windrock. We'll do a lead into that, and then we'll get right back on our normal rotation for the remainder of the season. Guys, if you stuck with us this long, thanks for hanging out. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, rate, review, follow, comment, share, do all those things. Go get you a membership if you're interested in that. And guys, that's it. We'll see you all soon. Bye.
See ya.